My mom did not call, she did not hesitate, she sent a text that felt colder than silence. Please, do not come, the family wants a drama-free wedding. A second later, my sister Lily reacted to it with a heart, not support, not apology, a heart like my absence was a favor to everyone. I stared at my phone while something inside me quietly snapped, not loudly, not violently, but permanently, the kind of break you feel more than hear. I typed back 2 words, great choice. And just like that, I stopped being their safety net. They had no idea what they had just triggered. Before I tell you everything, know this: I am Adam Brooks. I grew up in the Midwest in a town that taught boys to be useful before being loved. In my family, I was never the favorite. I was the reliable one, the one who planned, the one who paid, the one who fixed things before anyone even asked. From the outside, we looked like a perfect American family. My mother Carol hosted flawless holidays. My father Mark avoided conflict like it was contagious. And my younger sister Lily, she was adored, protected, excused endlessly. When Lily entered a room, people smiled. When I entered a room, people handed me responsibility. For years, I convinced myself I did not mind. I work in logistics and systems. I like structure. Spreadsheets make sense. People do not always so. When my family asked me to help plan Lily's wedding, I said yes without thinking. I handled deposits, venues, catering, schedules, lighting, transportation. Everything, every bill landed in my inbox. Every payment came from my account, not because Lily deserved it, but because my mother expected it. The only person who ever saw me clearly was my grandfather, a quiet man who believed strength was knowing when to stop carrying weight that was not yours. He used to tell me helping someone should never cost you yourself. I did not understand that back then. As the wedding approached, the pressure tightened. Compliments flowed toward Lily, criticism toward me. My father praised her gratitude, though she never thanked me once. During one meeting, I suggested scaling down to match the budget. Lily sighed. Without looking up from her phone, Adam, you always make it work. That sentence stayed with me. I still pushed forward. I visited my grandfather, often letting the calm of his presence ground me. He knew something was wrong. I could tell. The morning the text arrived, uninviting me, I was reviewing final payments. Sunlight hit the old watch. My grandfather had given me a symbol of time and clarity. That was the moment it clicked. I was not part of the celebration, I was funding it. And strangely, that truth did not hurt, it steadied me. What I did next would change everything, and they never saw it coming. After the message, everything in the family group chat felt artificial, too cheerful, too polished, like a performance that did not include me. That was the first sign. The second came when my mother announced she wanted a full wedding week. Multiple events, extra receptions, more expenses. Her eyes drifted toward my grandfather's savings folder sitting on the counter, the one meant for emergencies, the one he guarded carefully. That look froze me. I told her that money was not for weddings. She laughed it off, said I was being dramatic. Lily shrugged. Grandpa never even uses that money. They had discussed this already without me. Later that week, I took my grandfather to a fitting appointment. He stood in front of the mirror, adjusting his jacket. Then he whispered, "Your mom is planning things without you." The truth settled heavily in my chest. 2 days later, I walked into my mother's house to drop off final schedules. Lily was on the couch, holding her phone. She did not know I could see her screen. There it was, the message uninviting me, and right beneath it, her heart reaction. She locked her phone and said, "It is for the best. Everyone agrees." Everyone. That moment broke the illusion. This was not misunderstanding. This was intentional, coordinated, cruel. In a casual way that night, I sat alone, reviewing every payment, venue, catering, decor. Lighting the list looked less like a wedding and more like proof of exploitation. I finally admitted what I had avoided for years. They were not relying on me. They were consuming me. A new message arrived, another demand, no greeting, no thanks. That was it. I messaged my mother privately, great choice. Then I added one sentence, you will no longer have my financial support. No insults, no explanation, just truth. I reopened my laptop, not in anger, in clarity. Every contract was in my name, every approval mine. I contacted vendors, one by one, professional, calm, clear, cancel. The agreements do not process further payments. I felt something unfamiliar, peace around midnight. My grandfather knocked gently on my door. He sat beside me, held my hand. You do not have to carry them anymore. That was the moment I chose myself, and what happened next would finally expose everything. The morning they returned from their trip felt unnaturally quiet. My grandfather kept folding the same napkin. I made tea to keep my hands steady. We were ready. We went to the airport, not to welcome them, but to confront them. Our attorney met us near arrivals. Calm, prepared people who depend on you, never plan for the day you stop giving. The doors opened. My family emerged, confident, where my mother spotted us first. Her irritation rose quickly. Why are you here? We are not here to pick you up. Our attorney stepped forward and introduced himself. He handed my mother an envelope. Financial exploitation, unauthorized attempts to access protected savings. Her face drained of color. This is ridiculous. Adam offered to help. That is the problem. You expected it. Lily lashed out. You ruined everything. My grandfather spoke, then strong despite his shaking voice. You told him he was not welcome at the wedding. He paid for crowds gathered. My mother hated scenes. Documents changed hands, proof stacked high. For the first time in my life, no one rushed to protect Lily from consequences. Fear replaced confidence. What do you want? My mother asked. I want to be done. Done being used, done being invisible. Silence followed when my mother asked what they should do now. I said, figure it out the same way you expected me to. And I walked away. Free. Legal notices moved forward. Quietly, boundaries were set. Accounts protected. The wedding collapsed quickly. Without my funding messages came anger, embarrassment, silence. I did not reply. My grandfather looked lighter, like someone who had finally exhaled. We spent afternoons together, talking about things that mattered without guilt. For the first time I was not fixing chaos. I was choosing purpose. But the story did not end there, because consequences have a way of revealing truth. And what happened next surprised even me. Weeks later, I realized something had changed, not around me, in me. I no longer felt responsible for other people's choices. I started volunteering, advocating for seniors, protecting people like my grandfather. Healing felt better than fixing. I learned that love does not require self-erasure, that boundaries are not cruelty, that walking away can be an act of courage. My family did not define me, my choice did. If this story feels familiar, if you have ever been the reliable one, the quiet one, the forgotten one, know this: choosing yourself is not abandonment, it is survival, and sometimes walking away is the beginning of your real life.